Hi everyone, taking a break from the lore videos to do something a little bit different. As both a huge fan of Dishonored and a degenerate alcoholic, I'm intrigued by something we encounter just once in the game, that being King Street Brandy. This is the booze we can use to bribe Sokolov to reveal what he knows of Lady Boyle, if you don't want to throw the rats at him. It's also mentioned during the inauguration of the ISS Jessamine in Dishonored 2. I thought I'd make a go at crafting a version of this exotic brandy using ingredients from our world, as best as I can anyway. So here's what I did. We don't know a whole lot about King Street Brandy. It's made in Dunwall somewhere on, oddly enough, King Street. What makes it special and expensive, though not that expensive it turns out, are the ingredients that are added or infused into it. So to start off with, we need a base brandy. I'm using St. Remy VSOP, which is decent but still affordable. I was going to use Raynal, but this was $1 cheaper, so St. Remy it is. Now, the first additive we know of is Essence of Morley Orchid. Morley is based in part on Ireland and Scotland, so I have here some Scottish orchid essence. It doesn't have much aroma and a very subtle, flowery taste. Not sure how much to add, but I don't think we need to worry about it overpowering anything else. Next is a rare blend of Pandician spices. This is difficult because, unfortunately or fortunately, Pandicia exists only in the world of Dishonored. It's based on, I believe, Africa as well as Australia, so I chose spices from those continents. One blend I settled on is Ras al Hanout, a Moroccan blend of cinnamon, turmeric, coriander, ginger, cumin, paprika, black pepper, allspice, mace, cardamom, cloves, and nutmeg. Now, this is a meat spice. It's the kind of thing you'd put into chili or maybe mix into burgers. Not really the kind of thing you'd want to put into brandy. But, as Piero says,
the taste is revolting.
So if this ends up tasting good, I haven't done my job. Now, these spices aren't all rare in our present-day world, but if the source was very far away in an early industrial world, some of them very well may have been at the time. One African spice that is rare is Grains of Paradise. You might find this in a nicer grocery store, but not a cheaper one. It's a kind of peppercorn, but the flavor is of many different spices all mixed together, and just a bit peppery. For Australian spices, I chose Mountain Pepperberry, a highly aromatic peppercorn, as well as Lemon Myrtle, which smells for all the world like Lemon Pledge. I did choose to add one extra component. In the game, the animation for the brandy shows a red liquid, same as for the cider at the beginning. Brandy is usually amber, so to try to achieve the right color, I'm including powdered saffron, another rare spice, though it's thought to have origins in Near East Asia rather than Africa or Australia. The final ingredient is a drop of whale oil. So of course I unpacked my harpoon and went off a-whaling. Okay, just kidding. Whaling pretty much ended in the West long ago. Thanks a lot, guys.
Double dumbass on you!
In fact, trade in most whale products has been outlawed, which I discovered back when I was searching for real whalebone to make my rune with. I ended up having to use camel bone. I briefly thought I'd found some real whale oil on eBay, but closer inspection of the fine print revealed that it was really cod liver oil. So there are a couple of choices for an alternative. You can order ambergris extract, but this is a whale bile product, not blubber oil. Also, that's just too disgusting for me to ingest, so that's out. In terms of molecular similarity as well as application, it seems that this, which I gather is pronounced jojoba oil, is very close. It's apparently used in cosmetics, on skin, and hair. But we're crafting a drink, so flavor is also important. Whale oil has been described in the past as, not surprisingly, fishy smelling and tasting. So another good choice is actually the aforementioned cod liver oil. This is available as a vitamin supplement in most stores. So, splitting the difference, I chose to use a tiny drop of both. And, since in the world of Dishonored whale oil is explosive, I decided to add some gunpowder tea. To infuse the spices into the brandy, I'm using this cloth bag as a kind of giant tea bag. I'm grinding up the peppercorns a bit to express those as well, though not too much. Now I'll load up all the other solid components into the bag. And seal it. Now we immerse the whole thing into the brandy, in this mason jar. Then add the liquid components. I'll give the whole thing about a week to steep. Okay, using the very rare reverse spend time power granted by the Outsider, we've jumped forward in time a week. You can see the latest, hopefully last middle finger from winter out there. I infused 2 jars worth, and I removed the gunpowder tea bag early to keep it from overpowering. The bags managed to filter out most of the solids, but just in case, I'll transfer it to this decanter, which has a superficially similar shape to the bottle in the game. I'll pour it through this funnel and top off with the rest of the brandy. You can see it has a nice rich orange-red color thanks to the saffron. I've got a proper brandy snifter here.
On the sands of sweet Serkonos did we bathe in the sun, sharing grapes from Culero when you were the only one.
On the streets of Karnaca,
First, let's sample the aroma. Huh. It's surprisingly fruity and a little sweet. Definitely get some of that lemon myrtle. It's not fishy smelling at all, which isn't surprising since we only used a drop. A little bit flowery with just a little hint of pepper in there. Maybe the tiniest bit of that meat spice, but it's mostly buried. It's not bad at all, really. But of course the real test is the taste, so here we go. Gah! Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not good. It definitely smells better than it tastes. It's very strongly medicinal. A lot like cocktail bitters or one of the stronger Amaros. Which makes sense, since those are basically made in the same way. They infuse herbs and spices into a base liquor. I could see how someone might acquire a taste for this stuff. Not me, but someone. I don't really get any of the meat spice flavors at all. Or, I don't know, if I do, it's kind of mixed in with the other stuff. But overall, a very herbal, almost like with a licorice kind of flavor. I'm not sure if I'd go so far as to call it revolting, but yeah, I don't like it. Which I guess means my little experiment was successful. So there you have it, my version of King Street Brandy. This was a fun video to make, so if you're as obsessed a fan as I am, maybe you want to give it a try as well using your own ingredients. Just don't expect the final product to be too pleasant. Now I gotta go find some sucker to sell this stuff to. Just a reminder, my upcoming novel, The Artificer's Knot, is available to pre-order for just 99 cents, and free review copies are available right now. And my last book, The Heron King's Rampant, is free everywhere except Amazon.